This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, and we're welcoming you to Daily Flash for this Wednesday. We got today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Yes, we love making you a big part of our show, and you're probably wondering, well, how can I be a part of the Daily Flash Cool Kids table?
SPJ, tell us how.
Alexander.
Come to Sweet Baby.
Sweet
Baby
Baby.
Jane.
All the 219 stations across the
You
country.
the Godfather now?
Yeah.
I know, I was thinking about an Italian accent. But you can also find us at American Forces Network across the globe. And you can click on Where to Watch by going to our website, dailyflashshow.com. All our socials, all our stuff is there. And I want you to sound off on our question of the day. What's one place you've always wanted to visit?
Ooh.
I'm getting my opportunity
Yes,
coming up.
you
I was
are.
in Italy. I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah.
And so headed out there. We're taking the fam, but we're going to be having some good
what's up.
time out there.
New Zealand.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Antarctica. I know that's very
Really?
strange, but they do these really fabulous excursions.
I have a friend that had done that, yeah, and there's also a part where you can dive in the water there and swim in the water, and so you swim
In Antarctica?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, right?
Yeah, cold plunge to the extreme.
So that would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a really
It'd
good
be
time.
interesting. How about you, James?
I want to go to Scrooge McDuck's vault. I want to
and
swim
dive?
all the money.
You know, that would kill you. If you jump, I don't know how this duck jumps into a pile of that much gold and not comes out with a broken cranium. Nobody
Or
ever talks
beaks
about
intact.
his beak
Hey.
Yeah.
and swimming in, you
Amazing.
can't swim in coin. That would be
Swimming
nice.
in coins. I love it. All right, James, how can people get in touch with us?
They can email us at flashdailyflashshow.com. You can click on Sound Off if you go to our website, dailyflashshow.com.
You were doing your best Godfather impersonation. Before we get to our talker, I just wanted to mention this. After the Oscars, a lot of people were trending a story about how nowadays the Oscars requires a long list of DEI requirements for a movie to be considered or nominated. And they were saying if The Godfather were made today, it would not be able to be an Oscar-nominated movie.
And so it's representative of
It has
every
to check every single box you can imagine.
I think that's weird.
Yeah, I do too, because I think it takes away from filmmaking.
Yeah. But there's so many things that can't be made today. A lot of
Well-
SNL stuff and Live in Color can be made today.
Mel Brooks.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they tried it. It was just watered down with the history of the world.
Yeah,
if you remember
not-
that.
yeah.
And you just leave it the way it is.
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
All in the
gosh.
Family,
Oh.
Jeffersons.
Right?
What about even talking about like in the 80s, Soul Man? Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I
Guy
remember Soul
guy
Man.
who,
Yeah.
You know, basically is blackface, which, you know, me as a white guy, I'm like, so what? But people
Yeah.
were offended by
Somebody
it.
actually did that. It was an Indian guy who did it and passed himself off as black to go to med school.
There's a book that made us read called Black Like Me, where a guy had done that to live a life what it was like. So I wonder, is that okay? You know? No, that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
he did it because he wanted to find out the disparaging things that another culture would have to
The only
experience.
thing that's okay was Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
He's
that
okay.
was okay.
He
That was
get-
okay
he
because
gets a
that was
pass.
not offensive. That was not offensive. Excuse me. That was not offensive.
I agree.
Hey, what you talking about?
I'm the
Okay,
dude
so-
playing the dude playing the dude.
Yeah, so that he gets a pass.
That was a
Yeah.
total pass because it was funny. It was not.
Yes.
No one considered it.
It's actually
So-
also part of what you're just saying
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
ridiculousness of some of these things because I mean it's art. He wasn't making fun or
No,
whatever.
he
He
wasn't.
was saying how white people are kind of going after wanting
Yeah.
to do a role. So he was a Australian guy playing. If you pull that anymore, he was an American playing an Australian. He was playing a black guy.
Yeah.
I was like, what you mean by you people?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by
I just watched that movie just the other day.
So good.
And
So
they
good.
even asked Ben Stiller, could that movie be made again today? And you're talking about a movie that's not even, 10, 15 years
Yeah,
old.
Not
yeah.
really,
Tropic
no.
Thunder is awesome. Everybody loves that movie, but it's too much PC and you can't do it.
And I think that hurts the creative process because
Oh, yeah.
the movies like
Everything's watered down.
Godfather. The fact that The Godfather could not be nominated today is a shocking example of how
Yeah.
things have really
Where we're going.
turned upside down. Well, your favorite local cafe might feel like home, but one etiquette expert says, do not forget you are in a shared space.
Okay.
A recent blog post has gone viral for revealing the 5 habits customers need to stop immediately.
All right.
Okay?
I need to hear
These are the 5 habits. Going to the counter unprepared, or the drive-through for that matter.
Yep, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah, and you need to follow the 3 Ps: prepared, present, and polite.
Okay.
The next one, using your phone while ordering. You're talking on your phone.
Oh, well, that's anywhere.
While you're ordering,
Yeah,
yes,
great.
exactly. Small courtesies help the line move. If you're too busy on your phone call, you're backing up traffic. Treating the cafe like a personal office. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Cafe's not your
Starbucks.
living room. It's not your office. Keep your convo volume also at a minimum.
Okay.
Complicated orders. That's another one. Customized drink culture right now is totally out of control. Read the room. If there's a giant line behind you, try and keep it simple. And camping out without buying. A cafe is not rent-free workspace, friends. Purchase, linger, replenish, rinse, repeat. Good rule of thumb is to purchase something once an hour for every hour you are there. Good manners are about rules. They're not about rules, I should say. They're about respect.
And, when you are sitting there and if you're there all day, which, that happens a lot
Yeah.
because it's free Wi-Fi and that sort of thing, you are taking up another person's opportunity. I'm about just clean up your mess, man.
Yes.
Even that comes down to crumbs and that sort of thing. And, I want to go back to that first one about being prepared. There is I was reading some articles about successful people. See, I'm the type of person, when I go up to order, I'm like, okay, I need to hurry up.
I am too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they say that's actually, sometimes that's, as far as personalities go, it's not a good thing.
No.
Because you're constantly, you're not
Worrying about the person behind you and not worrying about you.
yourself. And I can understand that, but you should know at least, especially if you have a very complex
Yes.
coffee order, what you
got one
want.
for you, too.
Indeed. And if you don't, go ahead and just maybe stand back and just look up at the menu and let other people ahead of you all the time. And I'm the guy that I'll see somebody, I'll open the door and they'll go, and they're the guy that, ooh, let's see here, what do I want?
And it always happens when you're short on time and you think, I'm just going to pop in, get a quick thing for the road, and I'm on my way. And then you're there for
We had, at this one TV station I worked at, we had this coffee machine where you could type it, let's say you wanted a espresso with half cream, half milk, yada,
Yeah.
and sugar, yada, yada. And once it did it, it would say, well, use this code next time so you don't have to go boop, 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 boop.
Oh.
Why doesn't Starbucks have something like that? Or like maybe a QR code, like here's my order, and then you can just go, here's my order, this is what I want. They scan it, and you don't have to sit
That'd be
there and
quick.
go, I
That'd
want
be quicker. I like that idea.
100%.
Well,
I mean,
if
they already have you on your, giving you rewards on your.
If you have the Starbucks app, I think it allows you
Like
to do
order
that.
the
You
next
can
time.
pre-order.
You
You can order, you can pre-order, and it always,
Have it ready,
logs
yeah.
everything you order. But my ex, when I used to go to Starbucks, I was always on the phone because I was like, you know what? Tell them what you want, and I would put it on speakerphone and let her tell them exactly what she wants.
so you were.
So
So
you're
I'm always on the
translator.
phone. Yeah, I was like, here,
Middleman.
I'll just put it on speakerphone. Tell them what you want. Then she go, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, man, there's no way I would have got that correct.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, she
So
could have texted
I'm on the
you
phone.
her
Yeah,
order.
but even then, it's always something. She forgets something, I get
But-
blamed. But that's my ex.
If you
ladies.
have, there's a reason why, right?
Yeah, but you're using the phone to have someone
Right,
order. You're not
right.
on the phone having a conversation with someone else while the barista's trying to take your order.
You're going like, wait,
So-
huh? What?
So
What?
let's talk about orders because
Yeah.
I work with our friend
Okay.
Chat. The Extreme Caramel Crunch Frappuccino is one of the most complicated orders. Venti Caramel Crunch Frappuccino made with heavy cream instead of milk, extra ice, 34 pumps of caramel syrup.
Wait,
17
34?
34. 17 pumps of vanilla syrup, extra whipped cream, drizzle, and toppings could cost between $50 to $60 on our
Does
friend.
that
That's the
Calories?
most complicated. Yeah,
I
calories.
don't see calories in here. Oh no, it does. Extreme calorie count estimated 1,000 plus.
1,000. Oh, I would have
Why
thought it
would
would have
you?
been more.
You
People
know,
will order anything.
Yeah,
That's a dessert. That's not coffee.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's
if
true.
you want something like that, go to a milkshake shop or something. I don't know. I just see. To me, that's ridiculous.
And then they will, like, after they order that, they go, you messed up on my order.
Yeah. So and then they try and get it for free. Right? No, I think there's a lot of good points here, especially being prepared and also being present when you're at a cash register.
Yeah.
Cash. I don't know if they call
Coffee
them cash.
shop or anywhere,
Coffee
right?
shop anywhere, any sort of service, even the drive-through. The fact that you can be present and have a conversation and be clear about your order and respect the barista.
I would say I love going to Starbucks and sitting there and making it an office though. I'm sorry, I have no.
Do you buy
qualms about
something
that. I would
once
sit
an
there,
hour?
I would work out of Starbucks and just have my drink and type and so on.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they encourage that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I
But
mean,
how long are you there?
about 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
All
fine.
right. Yeah.
Some people are there all day.
Yeah.
I know Starbucks has changed their thinking about this too, and they'll give you, actual ceramic cups and refills as well.
Love
if you're staying.
that.
So they want people to stay there, but it's like there is a point where you go, hey, look,
Yeah.
you need
There's a
to
limit.
order something.
Or order
else,
something.
please.
Once an hour.
Yeah.
That's all.
Anything that bothers you, we need to know about it so we can tell everybody to stop doing it.
We love to share those.
Flash@dailyflashshow.com is our email address.
All right, here's our brain flash question. Easy for me to say. In chess, what piece can only move diagonally? You got me, sis. Diagonally.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's see if you got today's brain flash question correct. Here is that question. In chess, which piece, or what piece rather, can you only move diagonally? You know what it is. It's the bishop.
Ooh, the bishop.
The
okay.
bishop is the one. All right, hopefully you got that right. All right, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here, along with Andrea Jackson. We all had those negative thoughts about ourselves from time to time, but do you ever think that those thoughts actually can shape how we see ourselves and affect our own self-worth? Well, our next guest, Jacquie Elliott, she's got a new book out. It's called The Silent Bully, A Journey from Abusive Brain Chatter to Self-Love. It's important that you listen to this. She joins us now with some advice on how to quiet that chatter. She's down in Mexico. She tells us she is completely fine down there as well. Hi, Jacquie. Welcome to Daily Flash.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I think, as I was researching a little bit before I was talking to you, I think every person is guilty of this, and we don't even realize we do it. But we need to back up a little bit. Explain what ABC, or abusive brain chatter, is all about.
Okay, so as you said, we all have negative thoughts.
Yeah.
But abusive brain chatter is emotional abuse that we put onto ourselves. So, in other words, it's gaslighting ourselves. It's any kind of self-talk that holds us back. If we feel we're not good enough, then we're not gonna go for a better job. If we feel we're not pretty enough, we may not try to get a relationship. If we feel this is all we deserve, we may stay in toxic relationships. It's really what emotional, it's what I say is it's a negative talk on steroids.
Yeah.
And I think we've all heard other people say that, oh, I'm so stupid. I'll
Yep.
never get a job like that. Or God, I flubbed that. And they're going to think I'm an idiot. And, that kind of berating of yourself. I call it abusive brain chatter because it's important to understand that it is abuse. It is emotional self-bullying.
And we do it more. I find myself like I'll write something wrong, let's just say, and I go, man, I'm so stupid. I shouldn't have. I'm doing it. And we have trained ourselves to do this. This is very important stuff that we need to get out of our vernacular and B, out of our mind altogether. So you've helped us out by creating a very simple yet transformative set of tools. And since it's abusive chatter, ABC, you've got the tools how we can fix the ABCs. Let's start off with A. What does A stand for?
So A stands for awareness. And I think this is the most important. With any problem, you have to first be aware. And I think we're so used to, hearing people berate themselves and berate ourselves that we're not even aware
Right.
we're doing it. Like you said, and it's not just, oh, I did something stupid. It's more of really looking in the mirror and saying, oh my God, you look so ugly. You look so old. It's that kind of berating. So I always say to people, the first thing you have to do is just start writing down your thoughts. What are the negative thoughts that you have? And, for a week, if you take a little notebook and you say, oh, there, I looked in the mirror and I said I looked ugly. I wanted to go for that job, but I am too afraid because I think I'm stupid.
Sure.
Just start being aware of what you're saying to yourself. But in addition to that awareness, we have to be aware of the signs of emotional abuse. So emotional abuse is bullying, belittling, gaslighting, isolating, any kind of thing that is there to lower your self-esteem.
Jacquie,
And,
I want to make sure
yes.
we get through all this, the ABC. So I want to kind of move on here because what you're saying is very important by all means. But our next letter is B, and that is believe. Believe, not explain belief on that one. Do I believe
Okay.
on that person or what?
Yeah, so believe is more of a spiritual type of thing. If you try to change I always say you can't change your brain with your own brain. You have to tap into something, a higher self, something that you can believe in. You have to first
Okay.
tap into that voice that tells you you're good enough, you're loving. You have to find a loving voice and start believing that voice.
And that I would imagine you need to do and recognize quickly after you're like, no, I'm not stupid. I'm actually a really smart person. That's at least that's what I do, and it's been helping me. Finally, you say that letter C is challenge. How do we challenge ourselves?
Well, we challenge our core beliefs.
There you
So,
go. Okay.
if you have a belief that you can't excel in your work, or that you have to be perfect, that's a core belief. And you say, where did I hear that from? Where did that come from? I don't have to be perfect. Core belief was my father said I had to work hard and that was all that mattered. So we examine our core beliefs. For example, I had a core belief I wasn't pretty. So, and that was just as a result of the way I was raised. And so for my entire life, I was looking, I always felt less than, and I was looking for relationships, that affirmed that.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing, is challenging your core beliefs. I ran a marathon to prove that I could really, that I could do that. It was a triathlon. I came in last, but the point is I challenged that core belief that I was weak.
It's
And that's
important to
what
do
we
that,
have to
right?
do. It's very important to do that. And it's just as simple as, oh, gee, I'm holding myself back from writing that book. B, oh, okay, you know what? I think inside of me is a loving book, and I'd like that to share that book. I have a loving voice. And then C, where did I learn that I couldn't write a book, or who told me that? Well, my parents never supported me, or, I failed an English class. That's where I got that core belief. And so it's just those simple, it sounds simple, but it's those steps that we just remind ourselves every time we hear ourselves holding ourselves back or making a negative thought.
Yeah, we got to move forward. We're our worst critics, and everything you say. When I was a kid, my brother told me I was fat, and I look back at pictures and I wasn't, and it makes me so mad that I believed it. And I wound up growing up being really fat, having to lose all that weight. Thank you so much, Jackie, and for being on the show, and we're happy that you're safe down in Mexico as well. You at home, if you want to find out more information and get a copy of Jackie's book, The Silent Bully, just visit JackieElliottABC.com, and we'll have this link on our website.
Wondering how aesthetic treatments can help you look your best? Dermatologist Dr. Mona Gohara, in partnership with Allergen Aesthetics, is here with more. Doctor, great to have you. There's a lot of conversation online about unnatural filler results. What's your reaction to this, and what causes issues like filler migration?
So I think the most important thing to remember is exactly what you just said, Andrea. Online, you have to consider the source. I can tell you, as a board-certified dermatologist for the past 20 years, that hyaluronic acid filler treatments are safe. They create a natural result, a customizable result. And if it's done by a board-certified dermatologist or a board-certified plastic surgeon, you will be happy as a clam. So the key is to consider the source. Don't look at those overpuffed lips or those overpuffed cheeks. Just go to a provider who knows what they're doing. In terms of filler migration, sure, that can happen. It is not common at all. It isn't something that we see in our offices on a regular or daily basis. So again, I encourage you to follow the science, not the hype.
I think that's great advice, and this follows into the next question, really. What should patients expect during and after treatment, and how can they ensure they get the results they want?
That's a great question. So first, pick your provider, right? So you want to make sure that you're going to a board-certified plastic surgeon or dermatologist to get the treatment. Second, have a plan. Make sure that they know what you expect and you know what they expect. Have a plan. You want to tell your doctor that you want a natural result, right? So you get a natural result. Third, you want to pick the right product. I personally like hyaluronic acid fillers because they are great at replacing age-related volume loss. And then you want to have patience. So just remember that nothing happens overnight, but the results you get will be amazing.
That is so true, especially when it comes to beauty and this kind of thing. Shortcuts are not a good idea. questions and
No.
patience, as you mentioned, are a very good idea. Where can our viewers go to learn more or find a qualified provider?
Great question. Patients can go to naturallyyouwithha.com.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll post this interview on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
All right, thank you there, Andrea. Very interesting stuff there. Some trending news stories. Weight loss medications actually have moved beyond the medicine cabinet. Now they're actually in the hiring conversation. Recent surveys show that growing share of workers are either using or planning on using weight loss medications as part of their health goals. Independent reports show that employers from the tech industry to even healthcare are adapting medical benefits to reflect these new priorities. Vendors are now making GLP-1 coverage easier for employees to manage. So they're really, if you look at this, is more like a benefit that you're receiving, because so many people are going on these weight loss products, and they know, hey, if you sign on with us, your insurance is going to cover these weight loss, and that's interesting.
Isn't it fascinating that something that was intended for diabetes has turned into this, at least a U.S. phenomena, and if not a global phenomena for people who are looking to lose weight. And I still question, the legitimacy of this drug for some people who are using it for instant gratification.
And it seems there's that look, that gaunt look that they have as well, right?
Have you seen Kelly Osbourne?
That's funny you said that. That's who I was thinking about when I said that.
My goodness.
Unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable.
But, and they'll say it, and I've lost a lot of weight. Everybody knows that. And I was just talking about this on the radio about, so he goes, I don't even remember you like that.
Yeah.
But because I look so different. He says, I didn't even know that was you. We were talking about pictures or whatever. And it goes, we see it, the people that have to lose the weight, and we see the struggles. And so it's hard for a lot of people that maybe are healthy and they do the right things, like exercise and do that. But once you get to a point, it's really hard to lose that weight. I can see how it would help keep and retain employees.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're like, I don't want to quit because I have great benefits.
Right.
Including this. So.
And that's a huge draw, I think, for people. Well, a new singles scene is unfolding in medieval times, believe it or not.
Really?
It's dinner with a jousting tournament. Now these helmet-clad knights have become the hottest new alternative to Hinge, believe it or not. Between sword fights and royal decrees, flirty knights are locking eyes with female customers. They even toss roses into the crowd and crown one lucky spectator the queen of the tournament. Dating experts say it's giving modern romance a medieval makeover. With 10 castle locations across the U.S. and Canada, fans are hopping aboard the Chivalry Express, proving this isn't a one castle crush.
And if the date doesn't work out, you can say, well, I met a nice wench there. Right? And it's okay. You can say that because...
Not my knight in shining armor.
Lots of puns you can be able to use there. We want you to come back and have some more fun with us. We got more of today's talk, tomorrow's trends still to come right here on Daily Flash.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference. This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
Yes, he is. I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, we want to check in with James Alexander and our stations across the nation.
Oh, yeah, there's 219 stations. I want to sing it so bad.
Sing it, girl.
Or you can watch us globally through the American Forces Network. You can find us on social media channels. Hey, anywhere you want to go, that's where we are. It's like, well, I forget the American, was it American Express or Visa?
Don't leave us home without us?
American Express.
We're everywhere you want to be.
We are everywhere you want to be. Okay. Thank you. See, I needed that. So, our local friends today,
Thanks, I needed that. Is the face thing?
Oh yeah, the aftershave.
Pre-shave.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going through commercials and all that.
Right, all right. So our local friends today come from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport, I've been there.
That's
many
it. KTSHTV, Shreveport, Louisiana. Now, all right. Shreveport is known for casinos and riverboats. I know I got the wrong access. Taylor is about to kill me. Taylor is our guy in the control room. Taylor, forgive me. It hosts the Red River Revel Festival.
There he is. Oh, he's giving you the eye. He's giving you the Louisiana stink eye.
I love Popeyes.
There it is. Woo, buddy.
It's also the Louisiana Hayride radio show started there.
Oh, very nice.
There you go.
I spent like a weekend there one time because it was a radio station, and it was when they were switching over to the computers.
Yeah.
And anyway, I got there, and as I was teaching the guys how to set it all up, because I had worked at another station that used the same computer anyway. And they got it really quick, so I just slept on their floor the whole time.
Oh.
There you go. This is like
So
easy,
I spent the
easy
night
work,
in
right?
Shreveport many times.
Menon aftershave. Thanks.
Menon.
I needed that.
You know, thanks. I needed that.
And I think John Goodman was one of the first actors to star.
I remember he started.
Oh,
Skinny
really?
John.
Yeah,
Oh,
Skinny
wow.
John.
Way back in the day.
All right. Before we kick off this little talk here,
Yes.
I got to put on my different mode here. Can we
Okay.
switch to cam 1 here real quick?
Okay.
I'm Mitch English, and I'm an old man, so be prepared for this.
Lord have mercy.
In Florida, finally, they are making some movement in getting these e-bikes off of the sidewalks.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm not against e-bikes,
get you.
especially when I went by and saw $4 per gallon gasoline. Understand all of that sort of thing. Florida lawmakers are trying to make new rules for these e-bikes because their popularity are really going to grow and continue to grow. These things can go up to about 35 miles per hour.
Yeah, they're
That's
fast.
the low end, and you can get those. And parents, you need to pay attention to that too. They'll say you can go a certain. A lot of these have a governor on it where they can actually change them and then go a little bit further. Now, the reason I'm an angry old man about this is because I have a Vespa. Okay, my Vespa has that governor on it that my wife won't let me take off. And
What's a governor? I've never
a governor
heard of it.
slows you down, so it only allows you to go to a certain
Okay.
amount of speed.
Okay.
Right.
So, I can get mine up to about 40, 45 miles per hour. I never really do it. I mean, you got to be downhill too and that sort of thing. But I got to license this thing, and I have to stay on the roads.
Right.
And with these e-bikes that can go up to about 35 miles per hour, they do not need to be licensed,
registered,
or registered, and they'll go right up on the sidewalk as well. So what you have now are people that are like, well, I feel like riding on the road now, and I'll just ride on the road.
Yeah.
And then I feel like now I want to be on the sidewalk because there's less traffic and that sort of thing. And there's all kinds of issues that are going along with this, along with the fact that kids don't know how to drive. 35 miles an hour is fast.
That is.
On these scooters and on these e-bikes as well. So Florida is moving forward to now treat these electric bikes more like motor vehicles, and requirements for registration and also safety rules. And I really feel this needs to go all the way down to these kids. I'm telling you, they don't follow the stop signs. They think, well, I'm on this
bike.
thing. And it's a bike or it's a scooter or
Yeah.
whatever. They don't stop at the stop signs. I can't tell me how many times that these kids have gotten hit.
Huge issue in our neighborhood right now because we've got gangs of kids who are riding these e-dirt bikes, and they are tearing through neighborhoods, across lawns. Some of them don't even live in our neighborhood. And then there have been so many close calls with cars versus these things because, like you said, they don't really have that sense of driving responsibility.
They don't know.
And somebody's going to get seriously hurt. The challenge we have in our neighborhood is an e-bike could be any two-wheeled vehicle.
Exactly. If it's registered, then you got to have a license to drive
And will these kids register it?
20,000 injuries each year.
20,000? Wow. More Flash coming up.
You're watching Daily Flash. Time now for The Scene with Doreen.
March 28th is National Respect Your Cat Day, and today on The Scene with Doreen, I have the one and only cat daddy, Jackson Galaxy. You may remember him from Animal Planet's My Cat from Hell. Well, he has a lot more to talk about. I can't wait to dig in. Check it out.
I'm Jackson Galaxy. I'm a musician by night and a cat behaviorist by day.
What is it about you that these cats just love you?
Hey man, I'll take it. I have the slightest idea. I really don't. I never have. But I will say that it's there. I would never have thought about doing this if I was working at an animal shelter at the time, and I'd just be sitting there and all the cats would just come and say, how you doing? Let's hang out. you know, and it was
Yeah.
every day. And after a while, my coworkers started jokingly calling me Cat Boy, and what am I supposed to do? I had to start living up to it somehow, you know.
Wait, what's that? You give me a little blink? That's a good girl. Right when I give up, Nay is showing me vulnerability. I get to exchange some blinks with her, some slow head movements. We're talking, we're having a conversation. There's something behind claws and teeth, and that's a beating heart.
So let's go back 30 years ago to that animal shelter. You're working to put food on the table and dealing with your own personal demons. All of a sudden, a cat literally saves your life.
When someone hands you this cat, this broken cat, and just hands him to you, walks away, and you're stuck with the decision. What am I going to do with this boy? I mean, we're talking about the shelter system back in like '95, something like that, where, you know, cats who came into the shelter, the vast majority of them were not coming back out again, and let alone if you've got a broken pelvis. So his life is literally in my hands, and I, even though I really didn't want to, he didn't give me a choice, really, and thankfully, you know, thankfully he didn't.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the cat grabbing me by the hand saying, no, you got to be over here, I know that I wouldn't be here.
Come on, Paul, come on.
Dad, we don't have time for this.
Quiet, I'm doing something important. There you go, yes, that's it. Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Worth it. Totally worth it.
I know.
March 28th is National Respect Your Cat Day, but I find it frustrating when people don't, where they just want to make them into a cat dog.
If we care about the future of this species, is to appreciate what about them got them through the last close to 20,000 years with us. Yeah. And it wasn't because they were dogs. We didn't, until now, we didn't feel the need to shape a cat to be a something else. We were so appreciative that there was this animal who kept all of the rats and mice from crapping in our food and killing it.
The plague, yes, keeping the plague away. Yeah.
And we were happy with that. We were happy with that until the past couple hundred years, and now all of a sudden we're like, yeah, but you gotta be a better pet. And I think that we as a culture have to celebrate the fact that we have chosen to live with who I consider still a wild animal, an undomesticated animal, and they choose to live with us. And wow, that's pretty cool.
Visit JacksonGalaxy.com. Check out his entire line of products. Watch My Cat from Hell, still streaming on HBO Max and Discovery Plus, and just stay connected to the incredibly amazing cat daddy of them all, Jackson Galaxy. And if you want to hear more of our wonderful conversation, visit here. I'm Doreen Taylor with the Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of Hollywood.
Hold on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
So, Matty of Birkenshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Oh, dog and cat! It's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the media.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Hey, I was at CES 2026, and if you don't know, that is where you get to see the newest and coolest electronics, some really incredible tech. And one of the coolest discoveries is this ASUS computer. It's the ROG Flow Z13. ASUS recently collaborated with Kojima, and it has taken gaming and computing to a whole new, fun level. Here's what I learned. Well, the ROG Flow Z13 is pretty special because it's one of the only devices that is simultaneously a tablet, a full Windows gaming PC, a 2-in-1 laptop, and expandable to desktop-level GPU power. Let's not forget the ROG Flow Z13 is powerful for a small device, has a high refresh rate touchscreen, and it is very portable. What's cool is that it also includes Microsoft Super Resolution. That's an AI-powered image upscaling feature that enhances, even enlarges low-resolution images by up to 8 times. Yes, 8 times. That reduces blur and pixelation. Now, you can find out more information on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
Mitch, thank you. Well, Neo explains the hard work behind his relationship with not 1, not 2, but 3 women. The 46-year-old singer appeared on The Sherry Show and revealed that he chose to pursue a different situationship after an ugly divorce. The R&B artist recalled approaching his girlfriend last spring about his desire to date other women and make them all part of one relationship. The singer-songwriter prefers his trio of girlfriends not date other men.
So
but it's okay for him
to do it.
to have 3 women, but the women can't date other men. Okay.
To me, why would you want that many headaches? And then remembering things. Just the other day, the common joke, maybe you've done this, was like, hey, didn't we see this movie, yada, yada? Like, that was with another girlfriend or whatever. You know you're running into that when you're dating 3 women at the same time. But apparently, and I'm of the belief, look, if that's what works for you, I can't see how it is. And it'd be confusing to kids, I would imagine, as well, if you had children with any of them.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the case or not.
If it works for the women, James.
I knew you were going to say something. I was like, I wish James was here.
James?
I gotta agree with Mitch. It is a headache.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
No doubt about that.
It's a lot of fun.
No doubt about that.
I can see that. But how do you keep the names straight?
That's what I would. Yeah. The hardest part would be keeping names together.
And birthdays and dates straight.
Girl number 1, girl number 2, girl number 3.
Door number 1. You said door, right? I want to make sure you said door.
Oh, girl number 1.
You're trying to get me in trouble with HR.
And you just call all of them hun or babe or dear.
It's easier.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there you
know,
go.
if that's your thing, all right, that's your thing. And
I suppose so.
if it brings everybody happiness, then God bless.
I guess so. All right. Well, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes are reportedly sending wedding invites to their exes, believe it or not. 3 years after their scandalous romance led to their firing from GMA3, the duo are including their exes on the guest list. The future bride and groom don't expect them to show, but wanted to extend an invite anyway. Their relationship was exposed back in November of 2022 following their suspension from ABC. Insiders say the relationship was in violation of the morality clause in their network contracts. The two were married to other spouses at the time of their firing and affair. They have since divorced, clearing the slate for the duo to marry. To this day, Robach and Holmes insist they were not cheating while they were married. And did I hear a rumor that their ex-spouses are dating?
That's what I had heard. Yes, I think Hugo was mentioning that to us. Yeah, that they were dating, which is like a total sitcom if you think about that. And the GMA3, that's a Subaru, right? That's one of the GMA3.
That was a mid-morning show no one watched on ABC.
Okay. All right, yeah. I'm sure about that. We are talking about affairs. Some salacious stuff about Bill Gates.
Yes, it just dropped on the New York Post that Bill Gates admits to having an affair, not one, but 2 affairs, at least 2 affairs with Russian women in connection with Jeffrey Epstein.
And let me tell you, taking this, everybody wants to know what's on the files and everything. I think maybe he's doing damage control now, which,
probably.
Hey, admit to it, don't lie about it. And that's the only thing I can say that's about good out of this is that he's taking responsibility.
The problem with too much money and too much power is that you have access to everything, and sometimes I think that clouds your judgment and you make some poor choices. And obviously he was married and had kids, I believe, at the time that he had these affairs, at least married. So I think those were some poor choices on his point.
And when you are a billionaire and your spouse and you get a divorce gets half, and you have half of the hundreds of billions, that's still a lot of money.
A lot of money.
It's all about pride after that point, I guess.
Well, it's a guilty pleasure many can't get enough of, and a new franchise is set to premiere. Bravo has released the full trailer for The Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Oh, I can't wait.
The tagline for the show reads, "In a place where everyone knows everyone and family names carry serious weight, nothing is ever truly forgotten. Friendships built over decades, loyalties deeply rooted, and secrets guarded at all costs until betrayal strikes and the cracks begin to show." Real Housewives of Rhode Island is set to premiere on April 2nd.
Please forgive me, Rhode Islanders. The only thing I really kind of knew as far as the media goes in Rhode Island is that Family Guy, Quahog is based out of Rhode Island, which I think is very comparable because a lot of times these housewives are cartoonish altogether, right?
Yeah, they can be.
I think this is
sure.
going to be, it's just more a cast of the same thing, I would imagine,
Yeah.
right?
If you ever go to Rhode Island, do the mansion tour. All these beautiful mansions from the turn of the century that were built by the Rockefellers and those Astor families, and you can take a tour. They're all part of the National Park Registry, and it's pretty amazing.
I love that. Hey, we talked about it. The highest paid actor altogether, Zoe Saldana. Saldana, thank you for saying
Yes.
that. Congratulations to her here. Of course, we know her, of course, from the Avatar, Fire and Ash, and all the other great movies as well. So, congratulations to a female taking the highest grossing actor of all time.
And of course, she's got great endorsement deals, and this movie put her right over the top.
100%.
Yep.
Love her. We got more Flash coming up. Stick around.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. We always want to leave you on a high note,
Absolutely.
so that's why we want to tell you something good.
This is going to make you feel really good. We go to Belton, Texas, and what started as a simple visit between high school volleyball players and a local senior living community actually turned into an unlikely and actually heartwarming friendship, all thanks to a game called chair volleyball.
Chair volleyball. Okay, the residents at Woodland Cottages call themselves the Hit Squad, and they face off with the Lake Belton High School team in friendly matches that are less about winning and more about laughing, connecting, and just moving together. The rules are simple. Everyone stays seated, the ball goes over the net, and the competition gets fierce. But the real magic happens after the serve, when stories are shared and generations learn from each other.
Really cool. The friendship has actually gone beyond the court. Seniors even surprised the students by showing up to cheer for them at a school game. So they kind of did the other way around. That's really cool, proving that it just isn't an activity, it's a bond. Staff say that the partnership has boosted spirits, created some purpose, actually brought a new kind of energy to both the students and the residents.
After all, it's a little reminder that connection does not have an age limit. It is indeed ageless, and sometimes all it takes is a ball, a net, and a little heart, and that is something good.
I agree with that. And, sitting there thinking, this could be a new sport. If they have a sport where two people are going to run into each other, chair volleyball, actually, I think we could even play it here in the show. Yes. It'd be actually kind of fun. Even I could start seeing, how they have the retreats for companies, maybe like that could be an exercise of bonding.
The competition,
Right?
I think so too. And it's so important too, especially for our senior community, that they have something to look forward to every day and something to keep them active and engaged. And this keeps them active, it keeps them engaged, and it also keeps them connected to a generation.
Really cool. Now, if you want more information about everything we talked about here on the show, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Bye-bye, y'all.
Everybody.